Hi guys, I'm Stirpe. In this video I'm going to show you how easy it is to download and install Apache Tomcat. In an earlier video I showed you how to write a simple program in Eclipse. Well, if we're going to develop Java web applications, then we really should consider installing a container such as Apache Tomcat to host our application. I'll start by jumping into my browser and searching for Apache Tomcat download. That results in plenty of hits, and the one I'll take is this one for tomcat.apache.org. New versions of Tomcat are released from time to time. I actually recorded the screen for this demo quite some time ago, which is why the latest version is showing up as 7. In fact, the latest version available today is version 8 beta. So I'll click on the link for version 7 and then scroll down the page to locate the various downloadable pages. I'll be using it on a 64-bit Windows machine, so I'll choose a Windows installer option. Alternatively, I could have selected a zip file instead. When prompted, I'll place the installer in my Java demo folder. It just takes a couple of seconds. If I switch into the Java demo folder, you'll see the installer file. Before I run the installer, I'm just going to create a folder in the root of C named Apache Group. This isn't necessary, but over time I'm likely to install a number of tools produced by Apache, such as Maven, and possibly even other versions of Tomcat. By creating a folder like this, it'll be easier for me to manage them. Okay, now I've created my Apache Group folder, I can head back over to the Java demo folder to run the installer. Before I do, I just need to copy the file name for the installer, as that'll do nicely for an installation folder name. As soon as I run the installer, I'm asked to accept the license terms. On the Components page, I'll select all of the bits and then click the Next button. The configuration screen allows me to update the various port numbers. If I wanted to, I could change the port for HTTP from 8080, which is the norm. I'll leave it as it is. I could also specify username and password to secure Tomcat, which is a good idea, but for now I'll leave these fields empty. When you install Tomcat, it's presumed that you've already installed the Java runtime, and so the next screen prompts you to confirm its location. As I install Java to its default location, the path is correct. Now it's time to specify where to install Tomcat. If you recall, I created a folder named Apache Group earlier, and that's where I'd like to install it to. So I'll browse to the Apache Group folder and then create a new folder within it. I can paste in the name that I copied from the installer earlier as my target folder name and then go ahead with the installation. Before long, I receive a warning that the Tomcat service is unable to start. I'll ignore that warning for now, as I'll be able to start it manually later. Once the installation is complete, I have the option for it to launch when I click the Finish button. I'm going to decline. I'm also going to uncheck the README box before clicking Finish. If I open up the installation folder, you can see the various files and folders that comprise Tomcat. Let me look in the bin folder. There are several files in here, but the two that interest me are a pair of batch files named startup.bat and shutdown.bat. These batch files enable me to start and stop the Tomcat service when required. I'd like to run these batch files from the command prompt, so I'll just make a note of the current path. Launch the command prompt. Type cd, and then finally paste the folder path. If I type startup from the command prompt, a separate window opens and we can see various status messages indicating that Tomcat is launching. By the way, the eagle-eyed amongst you might spot mention of applications such as Web App Chapter 2 WAR being deployed. This is because I actually copied some of my exported Java projects into Tomcat's Web Apps folder following the install, but I've edited that segment from the video. It's got nothing to do with the current demo. Well, the server appears to be running, but we need some form of test to make sure. So I'll jump into a browser and try navigating to http://localhost:8080. And there you'll see Tomcat's landing page. This proves that Tomcat is indeed running on the local machine and listening on port 8080. Now let's see what happens if I switch back to the command prompt and run the shutdown batch file. When I return to the browser and refresh the page, I receive a warning telling me that I was unable to connect. Clearly, it's not enough to have Tomcat installed. I will need to install some web applications on this server for it to be of use. That will be the subject for future videos. There you have it. In this video, I've shown you how easy it is to download and install Apache Tomcat. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to comment on my blog and Facebook page. Perhaps you could also suggest more video topics. Most of all, don't forget to subscribe to keep up with my videos as I release them. Bye for now.